What's happening, sports fans? How you doing? I am Kendrick, the sports guy. Good day to you. And Lakers LeBron James was a guest on the Pat Mcafee Show, where he actually threw some shade at NBA 70 basketball. And guess who didn't like it? You know who. ESPN Stephen A. Smith had a response. We're going to talk about that in this segment. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that follow button, and subscribe to the channels on YouTube if you have not already done so. That is Kendrick Sports Hustle and TFG Sports Media. Again, four-time NBA champ LeBron James was a guest on the Pat McAfee Show. Kind of caught me by surprise because I thought his first guest appearance would have been on his biggest cheerleader, that is Shannon Sharpe and Club Shay Shay, but I digress. But again, they talked about numerous topics, and then Giannis Antetokounmpo's name came up, and this caused a little bit of controversy with ESPN Stephen A. Smith, who we know he and LeBron won't be sitting down having a glass of wine no time soon. Take a listen first to what LeBron had to say, and Stephen A. would respond. Check it out.
Game is different, and we should respect all eras in that era. You know, we can't be saying, okay, just because Wilt was great in the 60s and 70s that he'll be great now. And we also can't say that some of the guys now will be great. It is what it is. Respect that era and we move on. But the whole, every single day that he's better, he's not better, he wouldn't. You trying to tell me Giannis wouldn't be able to play an NBA game in the 70s?
I think he wouldn't be able to do it.
Giannis,
neither would you. Neither would you.
Giannis Antetokounmpo would have 250 points in a game in the 70s. 250.
Is that Kuzi? When was Kuzi playing?
It's still disrespectful to the previous eras. And there's no call for it. And so when he does what he does on that level, that's him, passive aggressively yet again, finding a way to take shots because inherently he has a problem with himself being compared to dudes from previous eras because folks talk about him. They talk about what he would have been. For example, he's not my GOAT. He's Shannon's GOAT. He might be yours or somebody else. He's not mine. Why do I say that? Because the road to prosperity that he had to travel, I believe going up against the old guard like Jordan and them, they would have stopped him before he learned how to win. I'm not talking about LeBron once he learned how to win. I'm talking about the LeBron that was absent prior to that person that showed up.
Again, that was Lakers superstar LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith giving their thoughts on this NBA 70s era, and in my opinion, there's a disconnect between the generations. Now, again, both men, in my opinion, these are my thoughts, I think they both gave indirect compliments to each other, i.e. Stephen A. I think gave an indirect backhanded compliment to LeBron, and I think LeBron gave a backhanded compliment to the NBA 70s era. And this is what Kyrie Irving was talking about on that Twitch live he did last Saturday, about he feels like a lot of the older generation, he was talking about the players that is, but a lot of the current NBA players feel like a lot of the media pundits, i.e. Stephen A. Smith, they diss them as much as they can. And I think at this point, sports topics and sports debate shows have gotten away from actually talking about sports. And I say that, and I read a comment, I'm in a sports group by this brother by the name of Terrence Gibson. Got to give him a shout out for this, and I agree with him wholeheartedly. He says, and I quote, "Sports topics are just as toxic as politics." Again, that's Terrence Gibson, and I believe to say that. I think we don't even talk about sports anymore. It's more about the hot takes. It's about which generation was better, who's better than who, rather than appreciate the greatness of all, from all generations, different eras, different styles, but they all were great athletes. Quit all this comparison, and I say this to the NBA specifically. Can we stop it? Can we just quit with this? The NBA is the only, and I'm talking about sports enthusiasts as well. Can we stop with all these topics about who was the better player from different eras, who could play in this era? Just appreciate greatness. The evolution happens. The game gets better. But that don't say that the players from the past can't play. That don't say that this player's president can't play. It's a different style. It evolves, just like cars, you know. Remember the Model T? Obviously, I wasn't born, but the Model T, it had its purpose. Just like now, the Acuras and the Nissan Maximas. They're better cars, but they all had their purpose. They all were good for what they needed to be good during the time that they were there. So that's my opinion. I just think this Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James thing is just, I think at this point it's getting tired and old. And but unfortunately, you know what? I think most sports enthusiasts, they like this kind of stuff. They'd rather tune in to this kind of drama back and forth and LeBron confronting Stephen A. That's going to get the eyeballs more so than a guy sitting here talking about the actual game and the players. Not the players personally, but their game and the X's and O's. Don't nobody want to watch that. I remember somebody that told me that. Don't nobody want to watch anybody talk about analysis. They wanted to hear the drama. I guess there's still those that really just want to do sports. You want to hear sports. Damn, I miss Stuart Scott. God dang, I miss them days. But anyway, that's my thoughts on this. I'd like to know yours. Talk to me in the comments. I am Kendrick the Sports Guy. We will see you on the other side. And on the next report, I am out. Peace.